Peace and welcome to the official Pips Over Money YouTube channel. In this video, we will be discussing a complete newbie quote unquote friendly Forex strategy. Now, I want you to ask yourself before you continue to watch this video, can this or could this potentially be a life-changing moment? And if your answer is yes, congratulations, continue to watch. Now, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel because we pump out videos about twice a week, and we'll be doing that normally on Sundays and Mondays. But back to this video, I don't want to take away from what we're here to do, so we're going to jump right into it. Now, I want to just say, be the first one to say congratulations for you taking the time out to watch this video. I really appreciate you for sharing your time, and I also appreciate you for trusting me to deliver this information. Now, before we get into the strategy, there are two rules for success. The first rule is, and you might be surprised to hear me say this, but first rule, do not believe a word that I say. Do not believe anything that you see in this video. And somebody might ask themselves, well, what's going on? Why are they saying that? Well, what I'm going to show you today, okay? What I'm going to show you today has helped me along my trading journey. And all I can do is share my experience. And that's the first rule, is that I know that this particular strategy, I didn't create this strategy, it's not my strategy, but I know that it has transformed my own trading, and it will continue to transform the trading of thousands and thousands of people all over the world. So the first rule is, don't accept what you hear, don't reject what you hear, but keep an open mind. That's the first rule. The second rule is, make sure you get involved. Pay attention, take any notes, watch it over again, cut off any distractions, the TV, Snapchat, put your phone down. Really take the time to pay attention to what is going to be presented. And if you are willing to be open-minded, we will see how you can use this along your journey. Now, brief story about me as a trader. Of course, like everybody else, I started out in trading to make money, right? I was wondering if Forex was a scam. I heard things about trading online. I was looking for opportunities to trade online. And so I began seeing people online making money. And so that's why I was like, oh, let me look into this Forex thing. Now, what I found out was that it was absolutely not a scam, and that people were making legitimate incomes from their home, legitimate ways to earn income from your computer, from anywhere in the world. And so I started doing the same thing that you are doing. What are you, right? I started to search YouTube and look for ways to learn about trading Forex, people to follow. And it- now I'm going to tell you guys this, and don't take it, you can take it however you want to take it, but I did find a strategy, and I felt so confident in said strategy that I quit my job. I quit my job and said, yo, I have some money saved up. I am going to trade this strategy. And if you're like me, I'm a go all in type of person. I'm gonna go big, go home. I don't believe in holding back. If it's something that I'm passionate about, I just thrust into it full hearted. And so that didn't go like I wanted, unfortunately. I found myself in a position where my trading was inconsistent. I was making money, but I was giving it back. And so what I had to do was get to a point of where I was able to really get the mentorship and the knowledge that would make me successful. Now, if you're not in a position, because I understand at the end of the day, somebody that may be watching this, you could have $1 million in the bank, and somebody could have 100, or you could have 100 million in the bank and somebody can have 1,000. If you're not in a position to afford paying someone thousands of dollars a month, or you're not in a position to pay someone even $1,000 a year, or whatever the case is, then this is the best video you will watch this year. Yes, that is the boldest claim I've ever made. This is the best video you will watch this year. So I didn't start to see dramatic results in my trading until I began to declutter and simplify my trading. And so simplifying my trading has created a low stress trading experience. And again, I want to be clear. Did I make up this strategy that I'm going to show you? No, I did not. I did not make it up. All I did was recognize how to use the indicator that I'm going to show you in the most profitable way. And so before we get into that, of course, what I would want to ask you, if you are looking at the screen, one of my favorite quotes is by T. Harv Eker. And it says simply, every master was once a disaster. Everyone that you follow or look up to, and it could be beyond Forex. It doesn't necessarily have to be limited to Forex, but every master was once a disaster. And if you can ask yourself this one question, is being successful in Forex feasible for you? Only you can answer that question. I'm not able to answer that question for you. So you must probe yourself and say, is do I really desire this thing? Is it feasible for me? And if I say, do you think being successful in Forex is feasible? And in your heart, you say no, I encourage you to investigate that no before you continue to watch the video, right? So investigate that no. But if I ask you and I say, hey, do you believe that being successful in Forex is feasible for you and it is your duty to be successful and to find success? And you say yes, and you're excited, let's continue, right? So, is this a strategy for you? That's a question, again, that you'll have to probe yourself. But who this strategy is for simply could be brand new traders, people that are absolutely brand new to Forex, also traders that are struggling with entries. In Forex, we know that there are so many opportunities all the time. And so some traders have been trading for a while. You may not be brand new, but you may still be struggling with entering the market. This strategy could also be for Forex traders that are struggling with understanding market direction. And also, the last trader I will address is the Forex trader that is looking for an efficient approach to trading. We know that trading Forex is so profitable and it's so many opportunities and it's this and that going on. And so if you're looking for a more efficient approach to trading, continue to watch, and I appreciate you for doing so. All right, so now we're going to jump into the actual strategy, and the couple tools you will need is, of course, you will need a broker account. I will put in the description the link to my preferred broker. They allow you to start trading with as little as $10. They are always running promotional offers, bonus offers on your deposit, so definitely check them out. Now, I will caution you, do not set up a live account until you feel comfortable with trading. You don't have to risk your own money. Just set up a demo account so that you can test it out, see if you like it. Now, the other thing that you will need, and technically it's implied here, is a computer to initially download the indicator. I know you can get the MT4 app on your phone, but for you to be able to get the alerts and all of that set up and provisioned correctly, you will need to first download it on your computer, your laptop, and then from there you can go mobile and be on the go. So what we're going to do is we are going to look at buys and sells and using this indicator in the most profitable way to buy or sell. Now, technically, I'm only going to look at one pair, but the opportunity to buy and sell are what you're really wanting to hone in on. You really want to pay attention to when to buy and when to sell. Even though overall this particular market may be in an uptrend, or it may be in a downtrend, or it may be in XYZ. That's not the point. The point is what I'm showing you in this video, how to use this particular indicator, the strategy is to know when to accept the buy alerts that it will give you, and then how to accept the sell alerts that it will give you. So with that being said, what we're going to look at is the AUD USD. Now this was one of the first pairs that I traded. So once you set up the indicator, and unfortunately, since, well, not even unfortunately, but since I've had this indicator for a long time, I wouldn't be able to walk you. That's why I was saying it's unfortunate. I wouldn't be able to walk you exactly through how to get it installed. But the good news is when you download the indicator, it will give you a step-by-step manual on how to attach it to your chart. Now, I'm going to give you guys insight on what you're looking at on the screen. So you can choose the style. You can do aggressive if you want. Right now it is giving you a sell signal. It's telling you the next time into the candle. All of this is great information, and the colors on my chart, you will see that bearish candles are blue, bullish candles are white, the sell signal is orange, the buy signal is this like powder blue color. So what we're going to start looking at first is the buy, and we're on the daily. You can use this on the M15. I typically would only use it on either the hourly, the H4, or the daily. So what I would do if I'm looking to have the most profitable trades, I would prefer to look at this on the H4. And there's so many different opinions about time frame correlation, and I get it. That's a whole nother subject for a whole different day. But essentially, I would take a top-down approach. I would understand what the next time frame is doing. If the next time frame is doing sell, then I drop down, and this is doing buy. You need to understand that. So let's start with the H4. And right now, what we're going to do is let's look at this area. And what I'm going to do is break down both sides of this. Okay. So in the green box, you will see that you got a sell signal here. And I'm just going to put a line there so we can see it. You got a buy signal here. This is actually a fantastic area because it gives us everything that we're wanting to look at. And then you got a sell signal here. Okay, so different opportunities to make pips in this market. All right, so once you set it up, it's going to send you an alert on your computer. A little box will pop up. You'll get an alert on your phone. You can set that to your preferences. Now, if we're looking for an opportunity to take advantage of the sell signal that it gives us, what I would caution you to do is to understand what's going on. Let's say you want to trade on the hourly. Okay, what is the H4 doing? If you are on the H4 and you get a sell signal like this, right? You got a sell signal to go down. It's like, oh, how do I take advantage of a move like this? That's what I'm going to show you, okay? Or I'm on the H4 and it gave me a buy signal. How do I take advantage of a move? Not a computer move. Stop. All right, cool. A move like this, okay? So let's break it down. And like I said, the whole bear market, bull market, you're tabling that just for the sake of this video because I want to use one pair. I don't want to confuse you, switch to another pair, switch back to this pair. So on this pair, we're looking at an opportunity to go up or an opportunity to go down. So we're starting with a down opportunity. Okay, so on the H4, it gives you an opportunity to sell. So what I would do in this instance is I would look at the H1. Now, I got a message from a guy one time. He was just like, oh, that indicator doesn't work. You have too much drawdown. And I don't give advice, okay? I don't give advice at all. That's not my thing. But in my experience, which is a word that I like to use, in my experience, if you are in tune with the global trend of what's going on, you're going to have more success. Not to say, not to confuse you, but it's going to pump out alerts when there is an opportunity. It's just going to pump it out. It's going to say sell, it's going to say buy, and you have to know based on what I'm showing you when to listen to those alerts. And so we've established that on the H4, which is a time frame higher, it's a sell. So when you drop down to the H1, it just sent you a buy signal. Are you going to accept that? Absolutely not. Don't accept that. Do not accept that, right? So what are you going to do? Okay, so on the H4 it told me to sell, but I want to trade the H1 for my entries. Okay, so what you do is wait for a signal to line up with what the global trend is telling you. If the global trend is telling you to sell, then why would you buy? Now you see an opportunity here where you could have bought and you could have made some pips, but think about the opportunity as an investment of your time. And so sure, you could have gotten 13 pips here, right? Or you could have gotten 45 pips here. Fantastic. That's still good. That's still a good day. Or, or you could have said, yo, okay, well, it told me this. I'm only gonna jump in when it's a sell signal. So let me turn off the move because that is okay. Cool. There we go. Let me go back to where I was at. Okay, so I almost lost my train of thought. It said squirrel, 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 but it stopped. I wanted to stop it moving. So anyway, so on the H4, what I was to get back to where we were, it told me to sell. So it's if we're looking at it as an investment, that's 34. Okay, this is 234. We can call it 234 pips. So sure, yeah, you could have gotten 15, you could have gotten 45, but the overall idea is to extract as many pips out of the market as you possibly can. So we've established on the H4, it's telling us to sell. So what I would do in this instance is anytime it tells me to buy, excuse me, yeah, well, it tells me to buy, I'm going to ignore it. And anytime it tells me to sell, if I want to, I can pop in a trade. So what does that mean? You could pop in a trade, let's say, because I had to put that there so I can, all right. So you could have popped in a trade on this candle, okay? And here's where it would have been a little bit challenging is because what would have happened, and the market does this, and I make videos about this all the time because the market will go in directions and it'll play with your emotions and your mindset and you're thinking, ah man, did I do the right thing? And is that man? And then what could happen is that you get something like this and it's 25 pips out of the way or 30 pips out of the way and you're like, man, that's wrong. And so you give up. You give up. And you must learn how to be confident in the information that you're presented with. And so you could have gotten in here, okay? And you could have stayed in for maybe a couple hours and taken what 30 pips at the least here. Now, the courageous trader will hold this trade for the maximum pippage. Okay. And so on this particular opportunity, not to confuse you, so I'm going to stay on this chart, but you could have gotten in here and then it gave you another sell signal on this candle. So you could have had two entries. So I'm going to put a line there. I'm going to move this line so that we know that these are our entries. And I'm going to make them green just because I like to make stuff. Well, I'm not going to make them green because of the background is green. So I'm going to make these white. So we'll know that these are our entries. That way we can see it white. All right. So we entered and we held until we decided that the way that it'll instruct you is to hold it until you get a signal in the opposite direction. And so you could have gotten in here, and then it would have, the thing about it is though, it would have generated a buy signal on this candle. So you would have actually been 7 pips outside of profit, and then to go on and be 30 pips outside of profit. But keep in mind, what are we basing our bias off of? We're basing our bias off of the fact that on the H4 we got a sell signal over here on this day, okay? Or on this candle, not day, because this is H4. So on this candle, we got a sell signal. So if I'm on the H1, and trust me, I know that it's hard sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't always work. Here's the thing, nothing is 100%, so don't be deceived and think that it is. But anyway, so we got in here, and we would have stayed in until it gave us a signal to sell. Not on this, not sell, but buy. Not on this chart. Not on this one. Why? Because we said on the H4, it's a sell market. So what does that mean? That means that I got a sell signal on the H4. So I'm waiting to get out of this trade when I get a buy signal on the same time frame. Hopefully you see what I see. And so what that means is that you could have held, I got my mouse pad. See, you see the video. See, this is knowledge. I'm juicing you right now. And it doesn't, my mouse pad don't want me to get his information away. Okay, so you could have held these two trades because you got those signals, and you could have held them for 200 pips. Look at that. That's 200. This line, I think this was the entry. That's 220. 220 pips. All right. Does this make sense? I want this to make sense to you. So just to recap, we looked at the H4. The H4 said to sell. And what we did was we drilled down to the hourly. And on the hourly, we looked for a consistent signal to come through with what the higher time frame told us. And then we held our trade until the higher time frame told us that it was different. Okay? All right? So that's what I would do if I was looking for a sell opportunity. Now, we're going to scoot over a little bit and look at basically the opposite side of this. The opposite side. Okay, so we're going to clear these off just so that we are starting it fresh, and going to delete. Let me get it over here. All right, so okay, so now what we're going to do, go back to the H4. Okay, so we're back on the H4. Now it just gave us a buy signal on the H4. Okay, cool. Buy signal on the H4. I like it. So what are we going to do? Keep in mind, and I'm just going to minimize this box so that we're basically where we need to be. And this is exciting, guys. Like, I don't know if you guys are excited about this, but I'm telling you, this works for people. There are thousands and thousands of traders. Just because you see somebody online, or everybody that trades Forex, and I know this sounds silly to say out loud because I think it's something that everybody knows, but everybody that trades Forex is not online, or has a YouTube, or has a Instagram, right? Keep that in mind. There are thousands of traders in the market at any given time, and sometimes traders find things that work for them, and they just are like hush hush quiet. Now, my trading has evolved and to the point of where I don't use indicators as much. But if you're brand new to Forex, trust me, this can help you to minimize the stress. All right, so now looking at the buy opportunity, we got a signal on the H4 to buy. Now that occurred on this candle. Okay, let's look at it. So we're going to do the same thing that we did with the H1. Same thing. So we drop down to the H1 and look at what they gave us here. So keep that in mind. Write that down. If you should be taking notes right now. And if you have to watch this video over, that's fine. But you should definitely be taking notes. So on the H4, it told us to buy. Now, we're dropping down on the H1. Do I want to sell on the H1? Yes or no? First answer. Do I want to sell? Hopefully you said no. Right. You do not want to sell. Why would you sell? Why would you sell? It's telling you to buy it on the bigger time frame. Why would you take 9 pips when you can take, where are we at here? When you can take 90. Come on, like pay attention to what it's telling you. So here we are, and this is where we got our opportunity on the higher time frame to buy. Now you didn't actually get a signal that was consistent until here, and so we're going to put a line here, and then we're also going to put a line here. Okay, and then we're going to do just like we did with the other ones so that we differentiate. That was our entry, and then we got another entry, excuse me, we got another opportunity to buy. Okay, so when do you get out? Honestly, it's up to you. You can get out whenever you want. Now, according to the rules or the instructions, you don't want to get out until you get a signal in the opposite direction. So if you get a signal in the opposite direction on the higher time frame, and keep in mind, guys, this works really well on this pair. And so when you switch to your pair, you will have to go through and really look at it to make sure that that because your pair could be a ranging pair, it could be a trending pair. That's all specific to the pair. But I'm showing you this one because this pair moves relatively slower than other pairs. So if you can really, even if you use it only on this one, it works really well. So anyway, that was a sidebar. But you only want to get out when you can't stomach it anymore, or when you feel like you made enough for the day, or whatever that is, when it gives you a signal in the opposite direction. So if this is where we got in, that's 120. If, let's see, and this is where we got in, that's 110. Okay? Okay? Pay attention. Like, you could have gotten in multiple times here. I mean, how many pips do you want to get? You could have gotten in here. Now, typically what I would recommend, first two. Anything beyond that, you're on your own. If it gives you a back-to-back signal like it did here within a couple hours, fantastic. But if you're in it from here and then you get another one, it's up to you. If you want to pile them on, you can. Your trading account, not here to tell you how to manage your money or tell you how to do any of that. It's your idea. But again, recommend probably the first two. After that, nah, we'll see. Okay. So I hope that this is clear, but I'm going to recap this. So what we did, and I'm just going to delete all of these off so that you can see it. All right, let's get them all off. All right, so we get all of these off. So what we did, let's recap. Let's recap really quick here. And keep in mind, no two trades are the same. No two trades are the same, but at the same time, I think I deleted. Okay, I didn't mean to. I think I deleted the green box. I did. All right, that's cool, but at least it's still here. No two trades are the same. And what I mean by that is market conditions are always different when you're trading. So don't be like, oh, don't get caught up in the oh, this trade just like the other trade I took. The overall idea may be the same, but the trade may not be. Okay, so just to recap, what we did was we referenced the next time frame up. Now, you can't go beyond the day on this. So if you're going to use the M30 to trade, reference the next time frame up. Okay, so what we did is we got a sell signal on the next time frame up, and then from there we dropped down to the hourly because we were on the H4. We have this section that's highlighted right now was our buy opportunity. So we got a buy opportunity on the H4, dropped down to the H1, and waited for this to send us signals when it was time to buy. And when it was time to buy, we bought, we bought, we bought, right? So we bought here and we bought here. According to this, we are buying. So when we drop down to the H1, we're not gonna entertain the fact that it's telling you to sell. We're not gonna entertain that. I'm gonna ignore that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to pay attention to this unless the one higher tells me that that's the same thing. Okay? So whoever is watching this video, I feel very good about what you're seeing on the screen, and hopefully you see the value of what this can do for you. Now, we looked at a buy opportunity, we looked at a sell opportunity. Typically, if the market is ranging, you may want to stay on the sidelines and let it do its thing. But with this particular indicator, hopefully you can see where once you get it set up on your chart, it can produce results. We looked at an opportunity to sell and we looked at an opportunity to buy. We looked at when to enter according to the indicator. And this, guys, is not like I said before, this is not my quote unquote strategy. This is an indicator that I used, and I, in my experience of using it, found out how to use it more profitably. Now, if you are interested in this indicator, there is going to be a link in the description. You do not have to pay monthly. Keep that in mind. A lot of people are not in a position to pay thousands of dollars to learn how to trade. Some people aren't in a position to pay $100 a month to trade, and I get that. And that's why, for me, if you are brand new to Forex, or if you're looking for something that you can use to be profitable, give this a try. Like at the beginning, I told you, don't believe anything that I say. Don't believe a word that I say, because I can only share with you my experience. My experience is all I can share with you. Other than that, with this information, you can throw it away, right? You can say, yo, that video, I didn't really learn anything. I didn't really see how it could work. Or you can say, hold on, I get that. That was pretty straightforward for me. I can pay attention to whether or not, if something is telling me this on this and something is telling me on that, and the way that I'm looking for entries, I think I can do that. I think that can work for me. If that's you, then definitely look. There's no reason to be afraid to trade. I just rapped. I'm a rapper. I just rhymed. I'm a rapper. Trading does not have to be stressful. It can be fun. It can be rewarding, and it will be, but you must have the right mindset. And that's actually the other tool that I didn't even get into, because that's something that I work hard on giving you guys every video that you find on this channel, is the right mindset. I talk about how meditation has improved my ability to not be stressed when I see the market go 10 pips out of my direction. Meditation has improved my ability to be able to open my eyes, and then also how developing a prosperity consciousness has made me a pip magnet in these markets. I can be a pip magnet because of the way that I've trained my mind. And that is the bigger piece that you will struggle with. The technique is straightforward. Somebody can teach you how to scout. They can teach you how to do this. They can teach you how to do that. You can learn that because we by nature can learn. If one person can do it, then you can do it. If one person can learn it, then you can learn it because you can be taught and because we can teach. And so the hardest thing, I wish that I could tell you where to go to download a millionaire trader's mindset. Okay. I wish I could tell you where to go to buy that book, Millionaire Trader, and then it just automatically jumps onto your back and now you're a millionaire trader. That is something that you will have to commit yourself to, and you will have to decide whether or not that's you. And if it's not you, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. You'll find your way. Before Forex, before online businesses, I've I tried so many different things. And for me, I was drawn to Forex because I've always had a love and a passion for numbers. I've always had a love and a passion for patterns. As you guys may or may not know, I taught myself how to play the guitar. It took me a while, but I taught myself to the level of being able to go and get uh, listen to a song that I want to learn how to play, go get the chords, pick up my guitar, practice the chords for half an hour, and then play the song with a decent amount of proficiency. So just like I taught myself how to play the guitar, you can learn this. You can learn this. And so our duty in this upcoming year is to really give you the mindset. Yes, there will be opportunities to talk about strategies that'll work, to talk about this and to talk about that. But ultimately, once you have the right mindset, your trading will transform dramatically. And that's what takes the longest. It's getting the right mindset. So if you have any questions about this, we looked at opportunities to buy and sell, which is all the market is doing anyway. It's going up and down. It's only two directions, technically three, but trading sideways is not an option. So don't overcomplicate it. If you have more questions about this, definitely drop them below. And with that being said, appreciate you for hanging out and peace.